Hey, people, this is the 5th episode of the Pandemic Sessions. It was supposed to be an episode with Bender, but I called an audible. Last minute, I decided, you know what? Let's take this time, this shelter at home, this stay at home order, which Missouri does not have yet, and let's real time, or as close to real time as we can get, let's record our thoughts on the challenge right after the challenge happens on MTV. So we are once again bringing you another review season for MTV's The Challenge. And instead of Challenge Accepted, we are calling this Reviewing the Madness because this season of MTV is called Total Madness. So yeah, we're gonna record after each episode on Wednesday nights, and I'm gonna release these on Thursday morning. So as I'm recording this, it is about 8:30 in the morning, and it will pop up sooner or later in your podcast feed. And you should just go ahead and download it. So if you're a fan of MTV, if you're a fan of us, well, then you have some weird taste in things, but we hope you enjoy it. So after the bomb starts, or, I don't know, I may even do a custom intro. I'll hold off this week. This week, you're going to get the bomb no matter what. So here it comes now. Hey, we are back, and this is still technically a part of the Pandemic Sessions, but we're going to do something different, or throw it back to something that we've done in the past. This was supposed to be me and Bender, and he was going to zoom in, if that's a thing, zoom in. Zoom! That was not what he was going to do. But I sent out something earlier on Instagram and said we are going back to one thing we did, I think it's been 2 years ago now.
It feels like an eternity.
Probably 4 seasons. And since we're stuck here, we're going to break down every episode after it happens of MTV's The Challenge. This season, it's Total Madness, so we are reviewing the madness is what we were doing.
Quick question. Did you tell Bender his session was off so we could do this?
He just texted me, said, when are you going to send me the link, man? I'm just kidding. I told him earlier today. So it's if you did not realize, it's me and the flop.
Hey,
Mrs. Missy.
Oh,
is it Miss Missy? Mrs. Missy, right? That's right.
I believe it's just Missy.
It's Missy. That's true. Mrs. Bohannon.
There you go.
But we just finished, literally not 5 minutes ago, finished watching the first episode of this year's challenge. It was an extra long hour and 30-minute episode. Mm-hmm. We got to see the initial elimination, or the initial challenge. The new house, which is a bomb shelter. And
an underground bomb shelter, which is freaking crazy. I said that this was not only going to challenge them physically, because it looks like a really hard season, but it's going to challenge them mentally, because they get very minimal sunlight.
Yeah,
and fresh air.
Yeah, one person even said
like us
it's
right now.
Stagnant air. Yeah, really. They are on their own version of a Corona quarantine.
MTV created the Corona, one, to make us watch this, and two, so we could feel what they were feeling at the time that they were filming this.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but so far this season 2, and they even brought it up, like you said. They said the air's not even fresh down here. It is 32.
Probably by the end it'll smell like a big toot.
Yeah, especially with Josh and Rogan. They look like farting kind of guy. And CT, being a Boston boy that he is, Boston baked beans. So there's 32 contestants this season, which looked like 1 million people up there for the first one.
It's a lot.
They did throw a big twist at the end of it, and we're going to talk about that soon, or here in a little bit. But before we do, let's just talk about some big parts of this episode. I think this episode's main story was pretty much Nani and Asaf, or Asaf, or Asaf, A-S-A-F.
Kaylin kept calling him Asaf Rocky.
Yeah, and he was the Iranian rapper, Asaf Rocky.
Yeah.
But so
was he Iranian? Is that what he said?
He said, yeah, that's what I thought he said. I could be wrong. But he was something,
He was non-American.
He came in from, was it Celebrity, or no, it was...
He was on Dancing with the Stars and Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah, he was a Big Brother is what he was.
Apparently he's a celebrity, though.
Yeah, Celebrity Ninja Warrior, he won. Big Brother, he won. And he was on Celebrity Dancing with the Stars. So
that was a redundant
He
statement.
had some... What's that?
Celebrity Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, wasn't that what he said? I don't know. Or is that where he got his celebrity? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, he looked athletic. He looked the part, and apparently that attracted Nani Yvette, which Anissa later dubbed the
kiss of death.
Kiss of death. Nani putting her claws into a man, and there's some legitimacy to that too, because no guy that Nani ever aligns with seems to work out, except in the way back Bananas. Maybe that was what it was.
I don't know if you recall, but she was partners with Turbo, and Turbo won the finale.
Yeah, but she didn't.
But now he is, I'm pretty sure, gone because of his temper. MTV probably does not want to deal with that.
That's true, but Nani never hooked up with him. They was like,
no,
they were
but
like,
she was still attached to him. They still had a relationship.
yeah, but I'm talking about guys she hooks up with.
Yeah,
it doesn't work out for.
I don't keep track of her sexual escapades.
Well, I just know Bananas was one in the way back.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and talk real quick. And there's a whole slew of new people. But we're not going to break down every people unless something important with that person comes up. But really fast, Rogan won the first challenge.
Shockingly.
Yeah, well, it was very much a strength-driven challenge. So the top three are easily the strongest guys in there. Rogan, CT, and what was it, Fessy? Fessy.
Which is, I don't know what kind of name that is, but he may be...
He's bigger than CT.
He may be my new favorite.
He's a giant guy. He's a former tight end, it looked like, from his number. And at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, he was an All-American. He said he had an injury that kept him from playing on Sundays, which he's pretty physical. And he was from Big Brother as well, is what they...
I can't remember.
Whatever it was. But so those three dominated... but Rogan won, so he got to form the tribunal with the winner from the females, which was that other guy, Jenny, who, if you watch the show...
Guys don't get lip injections.
God bless.
Or fake boobs.
But guys get... She has the most manly defined jawline.
Overly defined in everything. She gets huge lips. She has fake boobs. She's very chiseled. She has a man jaw.
She looks fake. Like I don't mean that like...
Yeah, no, she
it's
totally
weird.
looks fake.
It's like if you were to create a robot and give it lifelike features, that's what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But she is a physical powerhouse for females.
Yeah.
So she won the women. So it was her and Rogan, and they chose Corey because they quote unquote wanted to go with someone that seemed neutral to everyone. So
they clearly have not ever watched Corey's previous.
Yeah, no doubt. So the mechanics of this is that Corey and those two, Rogan, and Jenny, formed a tribunal. Now, what they do is they awaited for the House to vote in one loser, the entire House. And
the whole House is losers, and then you have the three tribunals. So the whole House, as a loser, chooses the biggest loser of that.
And
all
well,
of them.
they pick. Yeah, they pick. It's just the one, or they all vote. They go around and vote. Well, it came down to three. It came down to Asaph and Jay, who had the 1 and 2 votes.
Was also I think they call them prospects now.
They're prospects now, yeah, instead of rookies. So, and Asaph, being the last vote, thought he would big up and put in Wes's name.
Yeah, why you call out Wes? I mean, you could have called out anyone. You could have called out Johnny. You could have called out CT, Kyle. I mean...
The problem I have with... I don't have a problem with him saying
Jordan.
Wes's name. The problem I have with Wes reacting the way he did is, hey, the shooter's going to take a shot, and the guy wanted to... And he's like, hey, I'm here to win, and I'll play one of the best. And he had a legitimate point. He's probably seen this show in the past. He knows Wes is snaky. But Wes got so upset, and he...
Do you think that was acting, though? Do you think there was a bit of acting going on to lead into what came after that?
No, because I think he probably thought maybe he was going to get thrown in. And so he got all upset. He's like, why even say my name? Which is what led to him getting nominated because Asaph said his name. So maybe it worked out for Asaph. But then the tribunal gets to interview. They pick 3 names to interview, and then they vote on one of the, when it gets to purgatory this year, which is where the eliminations happen, they vote, of the 3 names they nominated after they interview them to face the loser. It came down to rookie versus rookie, which was Jay and Asaph. Going into it, I thought Asaf's going to kill him. He's so physical. But then they throw us a curveball as they go in, and they say, Jay, a mountain climber.
Yeah.
And the whole event was hanging from a bar with 30 feet in the air with a plexiglass wall in between you, and you kick the wall to try to push the other person off. Well, all Jay does is mountain climb. Now, Asaf's a celebrity ninja warrior, but I got a feeling he probably doesn't do that as much as Jay mountain climbs after seeing the event.
Yeah, Jay, I wouldn't say dominated, just
he just outlasted.
He outlasted.
Everyone said it best. All the vets and everybody were like, well, Asaf's being stupid. He's spending so much energy. And one person criticized him by the way his arms had his arms bent. Technically what he was doing was right if you're moving. If you're moving and doing that American Ninja Warrior or that Ninja Warrior
that's
stuff,
probably where that came into play, or what he thought of.
Yeah, you keep your chest up to as close as you can to the point that you're hanging on, so your momentum can be pushed. Well, that's what he was doing, while Jay was letting his lats and his back do all the work, which are bigger muscles, and he was just hanging there and relaxing while Asaf was going crazy on the other side.
Right.
So he beat him 2-0. And
Nani cried.
And Nani did.
Or Nanny. He called her Nanny,
he called
which
her
was
Nanny.
funny, but
it makes it even dirtier for when they hooked up.
I don't. Let me get that nanny.
Yeah, I got a hot nanny. I'm going to go hook up with her. So that's when TJ, he congratulated them. And so it is a big twist, but it's not quite as important as they led on. So the big twist is that, and if you saw the trailer for this, the big twist is that you have to win an elimination to qualify for a final. Now, it was not misleading, but that's a lot different than saying if you win an elimination, you're going to the final. Because he could still go back to elimination. There's nothing that protects him from going back to elimination.
Right.
You just get a red skull, and if you don't have a red skull on your helmet, you can't go to the final. Now, there are also white skulls, which indicate how many eliminations you've won in the past.
In the past, yeah.
And then was it an arrow, or what was it he said? I think something, or daggers.
A dagger for...
how many championships?
Yeah.
So those mean absolutely nothing. They're just to look intimidating on your helmet. The red one's all you need. So the big twist is that if you don't go to an elimination, and what that does is that keeps people from, and he's right, CT has won a lot lately, won the whole thing a lot.
Right.
By being so neutral and so in the grass that he never goes down there.
So towards the end, after everyone was leaving the arena, the purgatory, I think it was Corey that said, I'm pumped for this. But is it better to go into elimination sooner rather than later? And this is my thought. The sooner you go in, there is possibility for you to be thrown into elimination more to get you out of the game. So maybe wait till halfway to start throwing your name in or something.
I think there's two legitimate strategies just from watching this. One is don't go in early. That way you don't show strength early, because if you show strength in this game, you're a target. The other one is know when to shoot your shot. If it's halfway through the season and I don't know who's left, some wimpy person gets thrown in, then it might be smart to say, well, I'll throw my own name in. And because then I get, I don't want, even if I'm Bear, if I'm Jordan, if I'm Johnny, if I'm Wes, four historically good competitors, no matter how good they are, the last thing they want to do is go against CT or that Fessy in an elimination.
Oh, yeah. I feel like people like that, maybe like Jordan. Jordan's a good competitor.
He is, but
two big powerhouses like that. I say if those two go in early, no one else is going to want to go against them.
No.
Unless for some reason one of them gets put in the loser round and they think we're going to fucking put the other one against. Yeah. And then...
Part of the reason CT doesn't go in is because he's good at playing the game, and the other is that people don't want to face him, even with his dad bod.
His dad bod, yeah.
The last time he lost an elimination, it was supposed to be 1-on-1, but it turned out that the two guys ganged up on him.
Yeah.
And he couldn't overcome that. And that made him mad at Josh. So there's that vendetta laying low in the thing, because Josh is the one that put him in that time. So it was a very good episode. This season does look completely bananas, our madness, or bananas, if you're Johnny. Some things we didn't see. We did not see Johnny's toast. We didn't see a lot of booze, even though you could tell people got drunk.
Yeah.
It looked like it was champagne. I mean, The layout of the base it's a barrack style in the bedrooms. They do have like a common area that looks pretty nice with games, and then they have the workout area that also has a kitchen.
It's like one big area where there's like a workout area, a pool, a kitchen, eatery. Like,
if
I don't know, it's crazy. I don't. It's so
if there's
weird.
one complaint I have in terms of the stories that come out of the show, is there's so many hookups and so many sneaky meetings that happen when people are in the pool, and this pool's just not big enough to do that.
No, but think about all the area that is covered, or because it's such a big area that there's going to be tons of hiding spots for hookups, secret meetings, planning, all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
speaking of secret meetings, we saw the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, which is Nani, Kayla, and Jenna, which, if you're keeping score, they named Nani the Father, Kayla the Son, and Jenna the Holy Ghost, and they gave them little candles, but they are already an alliance.
Yeah, they're besties.
There's a couple of other alliances that have tentatively formed, like Rogan and Kyle had promised not to go at each other.
We'll see.
But if there's a major
bombshell,
the biggest alliance, and possibly the biggest alliance in the history of the show, is Bananas and Wes, are quote-unquote burying the hatchet for now.
But I like that there was a whole commercial.
Yeah.
It's like during the commercial break, there was a commercial dedicated, and he came out like fucking Tom Brady, black and white, in a challenge shirt, walking into a stadium, and he's like, "I just want you guys to hear it from me." And then he says the thing, but which I thought was cool, but at the same time, they stole the idea.
It's they did steal the idea, and it is a bunch of woo. It's a bunch of pomp and circumstance for something that at the end of the day means nothing. But for two people like us that absolutely love this show, it is the biggest alliance of all time.
So I just on social media earlier this week, and I honestly don't know whose post it was. I think it was Wes's post. But I had noticed that Bananas commented in favor of what Wes had posted, and I was like, that's odd.
It was, and then Wes also put, isn't it funny that the most likes Bananas has gotten the last 6 months was commenting on in favor of one of my posts?
I didn't see that, but I was like, that's odd that Johnny is commenting on something in favor of Wes, and I was like,
One thing of note that I do like, and I'll ask your opinion, and the one thing that is noticeably missing, but I'm very happy about, the thing I like is Wes's glorious orange beard. Do you like the big Wes facial hair?
Not on him.
I do, because I think Wes is weird looking anyway. So I think the beard helps cover the weird. He's got kind of a pinheady, kind of weaselly face.
I know it gets longer.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if it'll get longer on the show, but I've seen it. And he just recently actually just shaved it in real life.
If you look at the layout of the show and their barracks and stuff, they seem to only have a towel and one bar of soap.
A towel, a bar of soap, and you got to ration that toilet paper for the next 8 weeks.
The thing that is missing, and the thing that I'm happy is missing, is I know this show is about building villains more than it is heroes. Maybe the most villainous or maybe the most hard to like alliance and couple in the last 4 seasons has been Cara Maria and Paulie.
Yeah.
They are not on the season, and they told us they weren't going to be on the season because of their own sanity. The reason I'm glad they're not on...
Which is funny, because just recently they said they had no choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't their choice not to be on. So which is it, you guys? Did you guys not have a choice, or did you choose to do it on your own? I have a feeling that they chose not to do it, or the choice was made for them. Let me put it like that.
I'm glad they're not on because, one, Paulie is all smoke and mirrors. He claims he's this badass. He not
Didn't
just
do anything,
not just because of how poorly he did in the last final, but he's literally never won.
Yeah,
he's got to it now. Cara Maria is arguably the greatest female competitor of all time, but she hasn't done shit since she won the first person to win solo. Which, by the way, and I'm not pooping on her.
That seemed like
one of the two easiest. The other being Ashley's second win.
Yes,
one of the two easiest.
Oh, Ashley's first win.
Was it her first?
The season that CT came back and also won with her.
Yeah, that was the easiest final.
So today on Instagram, I was shuffling through because there's not a lot to do in life right now. which is why we're doing this podcast as well. I ran it. I don't know if it was Polly's or Cara Maria's post, but it was a video, a long video, like a 7+ minute video of Polly doing impressions of certain people on the challenge. CT was one, Wes was one, Cam.
Killer Cam.
Yeah.
Also not on the show.
And one or two more. And you just got to watch it because the one with Wes, I don't necessarily... he doesn't sound like Wes, but what he does to look like Wes is hilarious.
The mannerisms does he get in disguise?
Well, you'll just have to watch it.
I'll have to check it out. So I'm glad they're not on there. But let's talk about. First off, let's go ahead and let's do it. It's way too early to predict predictions. Name a guy and a girl that are going to be in the final, and we don't know how it's going to break down. If it's going to be a team win or whatever. But let's say the best finishing guy and the best finishing girl of each group.
I can't right now.
I'm going to go ahead and say this is Jenny's year to be the best finished girl.
Jenny? Well, it's only her second season, too.
But she is a juggernaut. And my sleeper pick behind her is Jenna.
Yeah.
And she's due. I think from the preview...
Maybe that's why her and Zach get engaged, because she won money.
Well,
no, just kidding.
Yeah, it could be. But I also think... Byron, from the previews, the one thing that always dethrones Jenna is going to dethrone her again this year is Zach, and we know they.
And Zach's
fight.
Not even on the season.
Yeah, they fight via Skype or Zoom or however they set them up. For the guys, I know it is too early to pick, but this is what I always do, and I'm picking CT because as long as CT's got a heartbeat, he's got a chance.
Yeah.
I will ask you this next question though: of all the rookies, guy or girl, which one do you think right out of the gate? I'll tell you this. Which one do one thinks that has the best chance of going far? And two, which is the most annoying right out of the gate
I can already give you my annoying one, and that's Bailey.
It's Bailey. And Bailey's, so let's tell people why, because Bailey's boyfriend or fiance is Swaggy C.
Is that even a real name?
It's Christopher Jordan Williams. So Christopher Jordan Swaggy C. Williams. That's his entire name. But Swaggy C is what he goes by. Both rookies. And tell them why.
Well, there was talk that for the first elimination, it would just... because it was a guy elimination, that all the rookies or whatever they call them now, prospects would go in, and it was just a small group. It was like 4 or 5 people in a room, and she was like, well, if they put in Swaggy, they'll have to deal with me. So then they go to elimination, and someone actually did say his name, but not as a vote, just said his name in a general statement.
Yeah, it was,
and she went off, and for me, his name should be Pussy C because he doesn't speak up for himself.
It looks like when she talks, he retreats.
Right. Like
turtle goes in a shell.
Like you're gonna let your woman do all the talking, which I'm fine with. A very independent, hard, like.
But she was a
strong woman,
very annoying about it.
But if someone's picking on you, I will speak up, but you're going to speak up more for yourself.
Yeah, well, the way she did it too is like they're going to have to answer to me if the guys vote him in.
Like you're in a game where people are going to vote for you and your fiance. You're going to have to deal with it.
And first off, what do the guys have to answer you for? What the fuck can you do for them?
Right.
You going to vote them in later?
She is going to piss a lot of people off. I guarantee it.
And they already think that she's got bites. Somebody said, and Bailey's got teeth.
And I would say my biggest prospect of the prospects is probably what's his name?
Fezzi. His name's Faisal Sean Shafat. So he's clearly of some he is
some other descent.
Some other.
But him, because he's so big, and he was in was he one of the final 3?
He was one of the final 3. Him and CT, they both. I mean, they were the last 2 standing when Rogan won, and he didn't seem. And because of that, there was some puzzle. So he's not a dummy. He is a college graduate. And that's not saying much because Snooki from Jersey Shore is a college graduate too.
And he probably got
athletics helped him, but still, he from everything we saw, he could be a younger CT, only without the anger.
Yeah,
I think the biggest travesty we have on this is with these younger people that are
they never get to deal with CT's wrath because he's playing the middle of the road now.
They also don't know, and they've never seen super in shape CT, the CT that banana packed it out of there.
Yeah.
The CT that punched people in that CT. They don't see that one.
Headbutted people.
That one was just looking at that guy's body, he could tear. He was lean, he was strong, he was fast, he had good balance. That was that CT physically is everything you wanted in a competitor on this show. But I'm with you. I think Fezzi is my pick to click. I think a sleeper is that Casey Clark.
I don't know. Just because she looks like a dude.
She looks tough, and she won, what was it, Survivor or Big Brother or something. So she played a game to where we saw her, but she didn't show any allegiances or anything to anyone.
Right.
So.
Yeah, she was a Big Brother winner, which to me is not anything in this game.
Completely different show. Although it may help you in this show, considering you're trapped in the confines like you were in Big Brother.
And Fessy was a winner he was on Big Brother and American Ninja Warrior.
Ooh, he would not have done good on American Ninja Warrior. He's so big.
Yeah.
You can't do those monkey bars and those upper body things when you're not just. I'm not saying it because I'm 6'6". I'm now 42 and out of shape. Of course, I can't do it. But when you're a big guy, you got a lot of weight from chest down.
Yeah.
From the trailer, upcoming season, it looks like it's going to be great. You see people go out in the hospital. You see the one thing I'm excited about, and you and I had already started speculating on a different trailer than the one that was at the end of the episode. TJ says, of all these years I've been doing this show, this is the matchup I've wanted to see. It makes me think it's going to be Wes and Bananas.
If that's how you're gonna, because they're the two longest running. But
if they ever seen, but I don't think Wes and Bananas have ever seen each other in elimination, whereas Bananas and CT have, and they hate it. And since they have an alliance, that would be kind of a fun plot for that to happen.
Yeah.
And Wes, by the way, that people don't know, he's not done good in the last few years, but Wes historically is one of the greatest elimination players in history.
Right.
Him, Jenna, and what's her name? Laurel.
Laurel, yes.
Laurel's like 12-1.
Yeah.
I mean, she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So.
Which, by the way, Wes lives in KC.
Oh, Wes is a Kansas City guy with his 16 companies or whatever it is he posts all the time.
Yeah.
Very excited about the show. I guess another couple of quick notes. Ashley, or Trashley as we like to call her, she's definitely back. She was pretty low key this episode.
She's one of those people that's pissed that she's going to have to do an elimination. She will fight tooth and nail to not go in them.
Two guys that are notoriously bad at playing this game, Corey and Nelson, are back.
Yeah.
Nelson, they're going to have an eruption and breakdown, and they're going to get out. Dee, she's back. She's betting right above Rogan. If you don't know, last season they had a relationship, and he threw her under the bus. Just blatantly every chance he got while he was sleeping with her. She's in a bunk right above him, but she's already eyeing the new guy Jay, who won his elimination today.
She said that's her kind, and I think I said I thought her kind was strippers. Yeah, Jay and Rogan don't even look anything alike, other than they both have dark hair and dark eyes.
We know Josh is on the season, so he's going to cry at some point.
Yeah.
Kayla is going to hook up with Bear. We know that, and she's already proclaimed that she's in a relationship. Maddie's another one of my favorites. I
love Maddie.
And I love her because of that other show that I got sucked into this season with you guys. Floribama. But I do like Maddie a lot. Tori is always a monster. Always. And we don't know much about, other than Bailey's attitude and this big T, we don't know much about them. So it's going to be fun. You said that the Jennifer Lee looked like she might be at some point.
No, I said her fucking eyes look like anime eyes. She has like no pupils and the largest irises. Like they're just oversized. It's very scary.
Yeah. So we don't know. We don't know what the season's going to be like, but I know. Your first episode strong?
I liked it.
Yeah,
I like the challenge all the time, though.
Yeah, you'd have to go a long way to be real shitty. The last thing I'll bring up is you made a note, and we talked about it a lot last year. We just didn't talk about it on this show because we didn't have this show. They scored the season last year with a lot of classic rock.
Oh yeah.
This year they seem to be doing 90s hip hop.
Something. I like it.
I do too.
Instead of always playing like the new music, because you can hear the new music anywhere. If you have any like Pandora, Google Music, Amazon, all that, you can hear the new music.
Or if you tune into MTV on any other show.
Right. So I feel like when they threw out like classic rock last year, I was like, oh yeah. And then this year, the first couple songs were throwbacks too. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I like that they're doing that.
Yeah, I hope they do it more. So I guess that's it. I guess our first episode's done. Hey, look, it's 30 minutes. That should be about all it takes to wrap up one of these shows every time. So expect to hear us the day after. I will edit this and upload it in the morning, which is a Thursday or Wednesday. What is today?
I don't know.
Today's Wednesday, so it'll be a Thursday as we upload it. We're going to try to do that every week unless something crazy happens. So.
Like we can go out into the world, which clearly is not going to happen anytime soon. So, bye.
All right, and the music's playing.